Oh no, why are the cameras broken again? What is going on?
Oh,
I
good.
didn't do it. I
It's not
didn't
my
do it.
fault.
Hey everybody.
Hey.
It's hilarious because the first thing that my stream heard was you going, "Oh no."
Oh no, not like
uh,
this. What's up, guys? How you been?
uh, I'm filling out a survey.
A survey?
He's
Yeah, I'm
filling out
trying
a customer satisfaction survey.
I am exactly doing that because I just got done playing. Well, I was playing Chained Echoes, right?
Yep.
And it was just like, okay, let me get out of this for the stream. And then it's just like, hey, do these 18 things for us before you leave today. And it's just like, all right, you fucks.
All
Like,
right.
Is it?
You
Oh, it's in
fucks.
early access, isn't it?
yeah. So since it's streaming through Edge or whatever, it's still beta.
Streaming through
So
Edge.
yeah, yeah. You just want me to go into detail on how this works because
Yeah.
it's really simple. Tim, do you have your setup for Game Pass yet?
Oh, yeah, on Steam Deck for game
Yeah,
streaming. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Okay, so
basically, instead of there being a native app, Edge.
Mhm. Yeah, and Microsoft has their own support page to like help out with it, and somehow I still fucked it up there for a little while. I needed I needed one space between something, and yeah, so that kind of was frustrating for a little while, but I eventually figured it out thanks to Reddit. They were like, "Put a space here; it'll fix your problem."
So you got
And I
Game
did it, and
Pass
it
on your
definitely
Steam
fixed.
Deck.
I do, and I'm very excited about it because I've been playing Chained Echoes, and I'm a big fan of that game. New JRPG made by one man or woman. I'm assuming it's a man because the name is Mathis, but I guess it could be a woman. I don't know.
Uno.
I mean, I
They
don't look.
identify as a penguin.
Yeah, I don't put anything past anybody these days. I don't fucking know. So, but yeah, no, it's a pretty cool game on Game Pass, and I'm having a good time with it. I think it has very positive reviews on Steam as well. I would check, but I'm on my phone today because I'm in the frozen tundra with you
That's
guys,
right.
Was that the one
Yeah.
that I
not in
kept
my
doing the
house.
weird German voice for? For the goat
Yes,
man?
yeah,
Okay.
yes, yes. Because his name's like Heinzville or some
His
shit
name was
or
like
whatever.
Heinlein, so he had to talk like that.
Had to.
Yes.
He had to
Mandatory.
have the very aggressive German accent.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
not. That was a terrible German accent, but I'm gonna die with it. It's
Well,
fine.
I'm gonna
the
die with
game is
it.
the game is great. There's look, this was the hook for me. There's dragons and there's mechs. So have
You
fun.
got your
Like
sci-fi and your fantasy.
yeah, there's a good mix of both kind of thing. It's more steampunkish than like futuristic kind of thing when it comes to like
Okay.
the science side of things, but at
Sounds
least
kind
that's
of
what it
like
seems to be.
I think Final Fantasy VI kind of rode that similar line.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's a cool game. Anyways, enough about me. What have you boys been playing?
Tim?
I played a lot of games today, actually. Like my ADD was showing. I played just today because I couldn't play one game. I kept bouncing. Cyberpunk, Darkest Dungeon, Halo Infinite, Monster Hunter Stories 2, Akane, Cult Canyon, Elden Ring, and Horizon Chase Turbo. And Justin and I have been
Damn.
having a good time doing some Elden Ring co-op the last
Yeah?
few nights here. So
Yeah, you beat the fire giant, huh?
yes,
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
now I'm in Faro Missoula and I hate it.
Yeah, me and Tim were doing a little co-op, and there was one point we were climbing one of the towers, and we got invaded, and Tim was like, he's there, he's got a bow, and I'm like looking around, but I can't see anything because I got like the giant pumpkin head helmet. So I'm like, where is he? And then I just get like railed with an arrow and sent flying off the tower.
It's funny because I'm like he's over there by the tree. Justin's like I can't see him. I got this helmet. I'm like he has a bow. He's shooting us, and then Justin goes, "Woo!" He was
Rip.
shooting us with a great bow, and it was a great time.
Yeah, it was fun getting back into Elden Ring after not really playing for quite a while, other than jumping into the Coliseum or whatever.
And then we also
Yeah.
got invaded by some other random dude inside of this tower. And we were trying to hit him with stuff, and we weren't sure if it was lag or if we were just missing. It was weird. But then he just gave up on life and jumped off the edge and died.
Yeah, that was so strange. We were trying to attack him. No damage was popping up. He wasn't getting hit by our attacks at all. He just like jumped off the ledge and died.
Okay.
Some people are maniacs, man. I tell you. I freaking
I had
tell
a
you.
lot of
Yeah.
fun editing that video.
That was good, man. That
Oh,
was sweet.
man.
Yeah, I've been playing a variety of things. Dark and Darker. That's what it's called.
Yes.
That
Oh my
game.
god.
We could talk
So
about
good.
that a little more, but that's been that and Duelyst 2. That's been my attention split for sure.
I need to check
I
those
was
both out still.
I was the I saw Duelist 2 was free, and I was watching you play it the other night with Dakota, and it made me think about playing it.
Ooh.
And then I'm thinking about it mostly because it's free, but at the same time I go, man, there are so many other fucking games I still have to play.
Yeah, I feel like
I
Duelist could be a good Steam Deck game, especially if it
yeah
has like the touch incorporation for it and just knock
yeah
out a match when you have a few minutes.
That's what
yeah
I was thinking.
the game I want to beat that I want to get through is Jedi Fallen Order. That's the
Oh
fucking game
yeah.
I want to beat that game.
The ending of
I
that
bought
game is
that.
so cool.
I've started it like twice before, and I've gotten a little bit farther each time. Still not very far. And it's not like the game's bad. It's just like I just fall off of it because
Hmm.
I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but it's still super cool. Like it's still a super cool game, right? Like it's super dope. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's my goal for 2023 before Jedi
Good
is
goal to have.
I
Beat the
think
first
exactly.
game.
the last game I remember finishing this year, other than Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, both again, was Pumpkin Jack.
Huh?
Okay.
It's a platformer. It's an indie game. It came out this year. Or it came out. I think it came out last year, and I got it in a humble monthly. And like around Halloween, I was like, I'll just play this because like I need something.
Thematic.
And Arya friggin' obsesses with the Nightmare Before Christmas,
Oh, okay.
and it's not the same Jack, but I was like, well, this guy's got a pumpkin head and his name is Jack. And Arya still keeps asking me to play this freaking game. We beat
Oh
it in
wow.
I just checked September. The last time I played it was September. I actually recorded my entire playthrough of it, intending to do a video review, and I just haven't gotten around to it.
Hmm. That's funny.
So that's great.
And she still
That's
asks
the one
about
with
it.
She asked about it today. Like literally just a couple hours ago. I'm just laying there. She's laying on top of me. I'm playing on my Steam Deck. She's on her tablet and she goes, "Daddy, you should play Pumpkin Jack." I was like, "No, I'm
the
doing other things." She goes, "But the skeletons need you."
Those
It's like I don't
skeletons need you.
skeletons are the bad guys. I don't think that's how this works.
That's
They don't
funny.
need to be shot right now.
The skeletons need you sounds like a t-shirt.
The
Just that tag.
skeletons need you. It almost sounds like something you'd hear in a Fallout game.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
video gamey.
Another skeleton needs your help.
That's
Oh
funny.
my god.
I'll
So,
see myself out.
Dark and Darker. Tim hasn't tried it yet, tragically. But
Yeah.
this is a new PvPvE game, sort of a battle royale style thing going on. And they currently you can play it for free. It's like kind of a open beta test to anybody who wants to try it out. Me and Cody have jumped in there. I played it quite a bit with a
Yeah.
few different people now. This game is dope, dude. I really like this game.
What level are you now?
I think I'm level 10 or 11 now because I unlocked the other perk slot.
Oh,
My
did you? Okay,
barbarian.
I was gonna guess 15 is what I was gonna guess. You're like I've played it with multiple people now. I was like, oh man, that man's grinding
Yeah, I
because
did.
you don't level very fast.
Yeah, so the premise for this game is it's like you go into this dungeon with your party or solo or whatever. So you can go in with like up to 3 other players and you choose a class. So like you've got your barbarian, you've got your cleric, your wizard, your fighter, whatever. And they all have different abilities and different perks. So like the ranger can go and I think the ranger, or no, is it the rogue? One of them has like trap sense, so you can see the traps in the dungeon that you're exploring and like disable them.
That's dope.
The barbarian can like break down doors and shit with his axe just because he's really strong. The cleric can heal people. So every class is a very particular role that is filled by them. But you go in and you go into the dungeon, and there's like a big circle that's closing, classic BR style. And you need to find a blue portal that you go through to escape from the dungeon. And these seem to just kind of randomly appear throughout the dungeon. And this is actually a really cool aspect of the game, because you go in as a group of 4, right? And you got your party and you're all really tough. But then the portals so far are all just for a single person to escape through. So if one of you escapes, then like your party's a little weaker. So I thought that was an interesting mechanic. And then what you can do is there are other portals that you can find, which are for like up to your entire party. And they go deeper into another layer of the dungeon that's got harder monsters and better loot in it. So you can kind of like risk reward, or if you get to like the circle's just tiny and you don't have a blue portal, but you have a red one, like, well, you're taking the red portal because otherwise you're just going to die from the ring. So that's kind of an interesting mechanic.
The red portal takes you deeper. The blue portal is your escape. So it's totally the Matrix.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Classic. Classic.
So is there not
Matrix?
Have you not discovered a portal that'll let the whole party leave at the same time?
Not that I have seen. From what I've seen during the beta, it's only been single person portals, but I assume that they will have like more varieties of portals as the game progresses or whatever.
I actually kind of hope they don't, just because that is a differentiating factor, that it makes it a tactical decision. Okay, who's extracting?
Yeah, it really adds a layer to it. Yeah, one thing that makes it stand out.
I feel like that would just, I don't know if that, I mean, I guess if you want to call this tactical, I think that would just turn one player into a mule. So basically you guys would loot that entire upper level and give that person all the loot, and then they just leave. And then you can, I think you can, after level 5, you get the option to be a trader. You just trade it back to your people. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's a good point.
You could circumvent. I'm probably circumventing the intentions a little bit, but even if they're paying, I don't know. Let's say they pay 5 gold for like 10 items, right? That they gathered the interpretation. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I would do it. And then after that, everybody else would be like, all right, fucking go kill everything. You know what I mean? Just fuck everything up. You know?
Is there an inventory cap?
So that's actually another really cool aspect of this game. It uses that old school inventory system where it's based on like the size of the items. You have so many squares of inventory, and you physically place the items and shit. So that is one thing that will limit that.
So it's Tarkov.
It's Tarkov, Marauders, all those
that's
type
cool.
of games.
Yeah. The other thing that really sets this game apart, I would say, is the combat. So the combat feels very like deliberate and like methodical, where you cannot sprint. You can hold shift and you'll walk slower and create less noise. But it's very easy to get into situations that you cannot run away from. And with your melee weapons, each weapon has like an attack pattern. If you hold the button down, you like swing this way, that way, or whatever. But so you can't aim your swings. You just have to like memorize whatever your attack pattern is, and you're kind of locked into that. So there's not like a high skill ceiling as far as like flicks and like aim mechanics, which I think could make the game a little more approachable for some people.
Yeah, it's not like Mordhau. That's the game. You know what I mean? Or Chivalry or something like that. So yeah, because I don't think like
I would hate that game if it had a Mordhau system, because it would be
ballerinas.
That would be rough.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and the skill level difference between people on Mordhau is insane. For people who play it all the time and people who don't.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed it because it had like, when you're playing it with your friends, it's definitely like party game vibes, right? You're just like fucking around. Like,
there's really
nobody
no
gives a
stress.
shit. Yeah, like nobody cares what the fuck's going on. Like me and you, Justin, I still thought it was super funny. we were trying to get through that door, and some dude just came up and just like bonked both of us in the back of the head.
Yeah.
And just fucking came over. Like, you know what I mean? It was just
Murdered.
yeah, and the circle was right behind us, right?
Yeah, we
So I
thought we were
wasn't
safe.
expecting anybody. Yeah, I wasn't expecting anybody to come from behind. It was funny, and I was just like, all right, well,
Yeah.
it's a good game though.
It
I think
gives
they're
me
definitely on the right path.
it gives me like vibes of like the old like Gauntlet games, just playing with your friends, 4-player co-op.
Oh,
You run
yeah.
around looting
Yeah.
shit. Just it's a good time.
Yeah, it is. It's a good time.
Yeah, I don't think they have a release date yet. And I think they
No.
just extended the playtest for a few days. So Tim, there is still time to hop in there and try it out. But yeah,
I'll do my best.
You guys should play after the podcast.
He's got to be up in the morning for the thing, so we'll see.
I don't have to be.
He doesn't
up,
anymore.
Yeah,
for
well,
that.
Oh,
not
what
as
Yeah,
early.
Missed
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
So yeah, I was gonna do this radio thing. Our good friend Ian asked me to go be his co-host on his radio show tomorrow because his usual co-host is on vacation. But our roads are pretty fucked right now because of the
Yeah, there's that.
snowstorms. So I think that's not going to happen.
Because frozen tundra, where people just like choose to live. I've been telling my mom, I'm
Foolishly.
like, why do you choose to live here? Like, let's. She's like, I'm among my people. Like, your people are insane, right? Like, fuck, get out of this. Like, what
I like
the
it
hell?
here. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we all know
He
Tim's a
says-
masochist, so
That's
There's
true.
that.
He says that he had to turn his fucking. What did you say? You had to turn your what on your computer on the highest settings to get some heat in your house. I want to fucking
hit the
hear
high ray
this.
tracing on.
Turn
Jesus.
on.
Oh, Cyberpunk.
I turned everything up in Cyberpunk. I turned on ray tracing and everything just so my computer would kick out some more heat.
Bad. Yeah.
It's cold in here.
Say
Our
warm,
house is
y'all.
not well sealed up. Like we realized that the first winter we were here, but like it's bad right now. Like it was 57 degrees in my house earlier today. So
That's nuts.
that's fun.
Yeah, that's ungood.
We now have literal comforters hanging in front of some of the windows that also have like window kits on top of them to help seal them. So yeah, we went old school with it. Hang blankets in front of the doors and windows. It helps.
You do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing the Duelyst 2 beta that just released not too long ago. And man, it's so fun playing Duelyst again. I'm so happy it's back. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about the changes that they made, but I've been liking it. I've been playing the ladder. I got up to silver rank earlier today, playing a variant of like the old deck I used to use, and it's been a joy. I'm waiting for y'all to start playing it. Y'all are booting it up tonight, right?
I'm actually
I
trying to.
I think I installed
yeah,
it on the Steam Deck.
So I'm going to be turning my mute on and off a little bit here because my kids are coming upstairs. But
Oh, sure.
I was saying actually going to try and install it on the Steam Deck right now. I just
Oh, yeah.
am curious how it plays. Because it looks good. Also, something else I wanted to ask you guys about the Steam Deck. Well, I guess Tim. Did you notice that they added in the ability to switch the buttons to be like the Switch?
Oh.
Yeah, that's always been a thing on Steam. You've always
I
been
didn't-
able to use Nintendo style layout on controllers. You can do it with an Xbox
I didn't know
controller if you
that.
want to.
I didn't know that.
hate it.
I definitely turned it. I turned it on because
Why?
this form factor, I've spent the most time playing as a Switch.
You've got the
So
Switch
when I
muscle
first
memory.
started playing this,
I'm just gonna straight up say no, because here's why. The Switch, it has your typical up down layout with the joysticks. There is no, it doesn't help that it keeps getting censored. There is nothing else with the button layout of this where they're right next to each other like that. It just doesn't exist
Right.
anywhere else.
That's-
So like that doesn't at all feel like my Switch. Not even a little bit.
no, but
I think it's the
like,
button placement, right? If the
Yeah,
rightmost
it's-
button is your accept button.
That is, see, I have mostly throughout the course of my life, I've played way more PlayStation and Xbox than I have Nintendo. Now I have played Nintendo, but up until the Switch, other than the original NES, in my house we didn't have a Nintendo system other than my Game Boy. right? And my Game Boy doesn't feel anything like my Steam Deck. My Steam Deck feels more analogous to an Xbox 360 controller than it does my Game Boy.
Mhm.
So no, I will never. I turned that, like, I accidentally turned it on one time, Cody, because I was just setting it up to support Nintendo controllers because I was using an 8-bit do controller with it, and I was like, I don't know if it actually didn't need it because it has Bluetooth, but I was like, I don't know if it needs this or not. And I accidentally turned that on, and I couldn't figure out how to turn it off.
Oh my god.
And it was a terrible time because I kept pressing like A and going back, and I'm like, what did I do? What is it broken?
Yeah.
Stop it.
It is.
It feels natural for me because, like I said, this form factor. Like I didn't since maybe a Game Boy Advance. I played the 3DS. I take it back. I played Sun and Moon, right? So that was like 2017, and then I didn't. And then after that, everything after that was a Switch. So it's like, so I turned it on, and I was like, oh, this feels great. It feels way better than normal. Like, I don't know. I know it's weird. I was just curious your take on it.
It breaks my brain, especially because I guess I think you use your Steam Deck differently than I do. You're probably mostly playing indie games.
Yeah, I don't play because when I have my deck, I'm trying to. I always think about battery life, honestly.
I
Yeah,
play a
because I
lot of
want
the
to play as
same
long.
games on here that I play on my PC with this. Everything is censored. It's an
Wow,
Xbox
what are you trying to
controller.
show us, Tim?
Actually, I love the way this controller looks. By the way, it's the Lunar Shift one. I just bought it the other day.
Oh,
It's like
dude,
depending on what
that's-
light you're looking at in it, it either looks gold or silver. It's sick.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm playing a lot of the same games on my Steam Deck that I play on with an Xbox controller. So if I were to suddenly switch the button layout, it would
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I had a hard enough like playing Elden Ring the other night when I accidentally pressed B instead of Y. Can you imagine if A and B were flipped?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Gnarly.
that would be crazy. Yeah,
I would
I
constantly be
I do.
backstepping off of things.
Didn't you jump off a ladder?
Shut up, Cody.
Oh yeah, we were playing just the other night, dude. Oh, that was funny.
You don't need button mixes up to have that happen. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's rough getting back to Elden Ring, man. There's a lot of things you can do in that game with the buttons. A lot of things I've forgotten.
Ooh, Psycho Frontier. I forgot that's on Steam now. I'm looking for
Speaking of
Duelyst.
Steam, I don't see it in here at all. But I know that there's another Steam thing on there, but tomorrow, supposedly, Steam sale starts. So
Ooh,
It's on. I
Steam
think it's going on right
sale.
now.
the winter sale, I think it starts at 10 a.m.
Witcher
Oh,
sale.
okay.
Winter.
I thought
Oh.
I thought he said Witcher too.
Winter.
You're okay.
Got
I
you.
thought he said Witcher.
No.
Let's see.
Interesting.
Would it be strategy? Probably.
Y'all see Steam has their nominees for the Steam Awards this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to
check 'em
look
out.
at those, but it was a little weird on the Steam Deck here.
Yeah, let's run them down
Oh,
here.
there it is.
So first we've got Game of the Year, Dying Light 2, Stray, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, God of War, and Elden Ring.
Wouldn't it be funny if God of War 2018 beat Elden Ring for Game of the Year on the Steam Awards, but lost
Yeah, that
to?
would be
That would be interesting. Yeah.
I actually kind of think that because I think the Steam Awards is all through player voting. It would not surprise me if Stray won here, even though I don't think it should.
Yeah, I doubt it will. I would be surprised to see that.
It was the number one rated game on Steam.
Yeah,
And people
So-
love
It had-
cats.
it had a brief moment where it was very, very big.
However, that said, Elden Ring has 450,000 reviews on Steam.
Just the sheer number of people who played Elden Ring, man. I
Yeah.
feel like that's gonna happen.
If you think about it, because obviously not that many people actually review your game when they play it, right?
I mean-
450,000 reviews.
Oh, well, you're talking about in percentage of how many people
Yeah,
actually
the percentage of people who are actually leaving a review is usually going to be in your typical industry type situation, what, like maybe 10%? 20 maybe? If you're pushing it? If this is
Yeah.
20% of people leaving a review, and that's high end for percentage leaving a review, 450,000 being 20%.
Yeah, I mean, you
This
can
is a lot.
you can just say that number and think about other Steam games, man. I can't think of any other games that I play that have that many reviews.
No,
That's huge.
I don't think Skyrim has that many reviews.
Doesn't Valheim have an ass ton of reviews like that?
Let me see. How many does Valheim have? Valheim has 325,000, and it had a year over Elden Ring.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
Solid. Next category, we've got VR Game of the Year, which I'm just gonna say Among Us VR is gonna get that because that's what I want to win because it looks so
Among Us.
fun.
It's also Among Us, so I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah, I think that one will be very popular. Green Hell VR is on there, which also looks pretty fucking intense. Hitman 3, they have a VR mode, huh? Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I wish I could get more like. I wish I had space because I think my wife would really enjoy it, honestly.
Oh yeah,
With how
for
much,
sure.
yeah, with how much she fucking played through Hitman 3 or 2 and 3, yeah.
Yes, a lot of good
So
moments of Emily in the background saying crazy things while she plays.
you stupid. Yeah. Now probably some things that I shouldn't be saying while
Right.
on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is
I
very
would like to circle back to something real quick because I checked on something.
What's up?
Elden Ring has more reviews than both Skyrim and Skyrim Special Edition combined.
Wow.
Really?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Skyrim
Yeah.
is like the de facto game that everyone played. So
Yeah.
that's pretty big.
That's amazing. That actually makes me super happy because, like, obviously I love Skyrim, but like also the Elden Ring.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. We've got Labor of Love. We got Dota 2, which I've literally never played.
Fuck Dota.
Project Zomboid, which I think Shane
Yes.
told me about.
Yes.
That one
Project
looks cool.
Zomboid is a very good game.
Deep Rock Galactic, they're always churning out cool new shit. No Man's Sky, and Cyberpunk 2077.
No. Nope. No.
Not that one.
No.
Not
Actually,
Cyberpunk.
Not that one.
I could see, based on how it released versus how it plays now, having just been playing it a little while ago, I could see Cyberpunk winning it. However, No Man's Sky always will deserve this award forever as long as it's nominated. It
Kind of
wins in
does.
my
Yeah.
heart.
It is.
Yeah.
They. It's such a huge underdog story, man. Like just such a big comeback for them, where they got overhyped and PlayStation kind of set them on this pedestal that they weren't necessarily ready to be on, and they've really come back and just every day they're just in there working and they just churn out cool new shit for that game.
And they've done it all for free. Not a single paid expansion, not a single paid DLC. They sold you the game. They were like, we fucked up. They fixed it. They made it better than they ever promised, and they didn't charge you a dime for it. It is
that is
treat.
Remarkable.
Yeah, that game will always in my heart. That is Labor of Love, period. Because it's not for the money. They're not making any more money on it other than new people buying the game. So Sean Murray went from the butt of many jokes to I have a lot of respect for his ability to roll with the punches here. So.
That is so impressive because so many games will like monetize with like DLC or like whatever little cosmetic things you can buy. But I don't know if there's anything like that for No Man's Sky. It's just the game.
Just the game.
That's beautiful.
Not that I'm aware of. Yeah. It's and that's I'm gonna say Modus Tim with that kind of stuff. It's just like, yeah, you're never gonna convince me that doesn't belong in No Man's Sky. Like,
yeah.
And also, the only reason I want to put this out there, the only reason Cyberpunk has so much fucking love right now is because of that anime. Not necessarily because of how good the game's gotten.
Literally, they have like a little preview video that kind of shows a few seconds of each game, and for Cyberpunk, it shows footage from Edge Runners.
Yeah. So So Labor of Love, maybe after the DLC comes out, would I put them for that award?
Is it gonna hold
They
it?
had to go to an entirely different medium for them to get
Good
any
stuff.
good clout. So fuck them.
Yeah.
So,
Next category, we've got Better with Friends. We've got Raft,
Valheim?
which I haven't played but looks fun.
Yep.
Ready or Not, that like tactical shooter.
Yep.
Multiverses.
I don't know that one.
That's that WB Smash Bros like
Oh,
game.
okay.
Yeah.
Where you can
weird
beat
characters.
up Superman as Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Or Shaggy. Yeah.
Or the kid from Game of Thrones, the girl, the assassin. A lot of weird
Oh,
characters
yeah.
in there. It's strange.
Are you? Yeah.
I forgot WB owns HBO. I forgot that's a thing.
Monster Hunter Rise. Tim, I think you played this one a bit, right?
I've played Rise a little
Yep.
bit. I haven't played it with other people though.
And then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. For my own personal experience, I would have to say Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 because proximity chat is just amazing all the time.
Yeah. I love watching those videos these days.
So funny.
Of
Yeah,
people.
you post a lot of those that are just super good.
Yeah,
So,
dude.
I can't remember if it was one that Cody posted or if I saw it somewhere else. But there was a guy that I saw that was playing, and he could hear himself echoing. So the guy had his mic on and was playing through the audio through the TV. So he just goes, "Xbox off."
No way.
Oh,
That's
yes.
that's
I love
nasty.
that.
That's a
And
big brain.
Yeah, you could hear the doo doo doo.
That's a huge win, dude. Thinking outside the box.
that sounds like the definition of better with friends, right? Like, come on now.
Yeah,
That's
man.
fucking funny.
That's so wacky.
Oh my god, that's good.
Next one, we've got Outstanding Visual Style. These ones are like fucking contenders, man. We've got Scorn with their entire disgusting aesthetic.
Yes.
This game Bendy and the Dark Revival, which I definitely missed this one, but it's got this like weird like horror cartoon aesthetic to it.
Oh
It
yeah,
looks
Have
really
you not-
neat.
Yeah, it's like
Have you not
it's
heard of
horror,
it?
it's horror Mickey Mouse.
No,
Have
I
you
had
not
no
heard of
idea.
Bendy and the Ink Machine?
No, there's like
So
another game.
yeah, Ink
Yeah.
Machine came first. This is the sequel, and it's like the Ink Machine's more cartoony looking. This one is like that style plus BioShock. It looks so good.
Yeah, I was stricken by the art style as soon as I saw it on this here. I threw it on my wish list because it looks really neat.
Yeah.
Cult of the Lamb, of course.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Miles Morales, and then Kena Bridge of Spirits. So man,
what is the category again?
outstanding visual style.
Yeah.
I will say Kenna because I did Kena. However you want to say it.
It looks so good.
Dude, it's a really, really pretty game. So you know when I traded in like Death Stranding and stuff or whatever, I debated trading that in. I was like, nah, I do want to finish this at some point. Like,
yeah,
like because it's a very pretty game. It's not hard by any means.
It looks
but
cool. It's like it
yeah.
reminds me of like a your Pixar or whatever style movie.
Yeah. It really yeah. You want to talk about the cinematics? It's literally like watching a fucking movie. Like I'm not joking. Yeah, it's
Beautiful.
they are very, very good cinematics. So, and then the rest of the game is also just very, very pretty. So,
I'd say I if it's me, I would either prefer Bendy or Kena win. Cult of the Lamb, it looks good, but like it's Don't Starve. Is like the visual style is Don't Starve. You know what I mean? Like I don't know that it's unique.
Feels
It
like
reminds
another
me.
game.
Yeah, like I was actually surprised when I learned that it wasn't a Klee game. It wasn't the same developers as Don't Starve and Oxygen Not Included because it has that same style. And like Spider-Man looks amazing. The technical work that Insomniac put into Spider-Man, it looks great.
It doesn't really stand out though.
No, it's not like unique.
I think the unique part of that is that I don't know if you guys know this, but you know Miles in that game runs at a different FPS from the rest of the world. Or whatever. Just like he does in the movies. So like in the movie he runs at if you watch the movie, you can kind of see it, but he runs at a slower FPS in the beginning of the movie compared to the end of the movie as he like finds himself and like becomes like Spider-Man and stuff like that.
That's a neat detail.
There's like a 30 FPS mode or something like that for it's just like focused on him, so
Okay.
you can replicate the art style that they used in the movie. So that's probably where that's coming from.
So it sounds
That's
like maybe
cool,
there's some like
but
in-game
also-
filters and things that
Yeah,
maybe set it
yeah.
apart.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool feature. I get what Tim's saying, but I think that's probably why it's in the category to begin
Mhm.
with. If I had to
Yeah,
guess.
probably. But like when there's features that you have to turn on, and that's not like the game's visual style. So like it's a really cool thing that it's there, and it's a really awesome detail that they slipped it in. Do not get me wrong. Like I have a ton of respect for Insomniac, and I think the games look great. Like I love the Spider-Man games, but they look very realistic, and Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales look the same. The game looks the same. They're running on the same engine as a lot of Sony games. It's not. I wouldn't say it's distinct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Let's
know.
see. Next one, most innovative gameplay. Some game called Dome Keeper, which I'm not familiar with. Neon White, Stray, this game Teardown, and if you vote for this, I don't like you anymore. Mount Blade 2 Bannerlord. Most innovative gameplay.
Oh man,
Why is this on my
Bannerlord's
list?
innovative if you're not one of us who played Warband.
Yeah, if this
That's-
is the first
that's
Mountain Blade game that you've played, it's probably going to feel pretty innovative.
I would say there's a game I'm surprised is not in it, and that would be Sifu.
Ah,
That I think should definitely take the place of Mountain Blade because
yeah, they're
that's the only game with that like that age mechanic and stuff. That's the only game I've ever played that has that mechanic.
yeah, I
You know
think
what I
that's
mean?
really neat.
So
Definitely
Yeah.
more innovative than you can have more people in your siege,
right,
or
like
you can
yeah.
craft weapons that break the economy.
Also true. You could just bust the game
Yeah.
whenever you want if you know what you're doing. Yeah, I'm actually kind of really surprised that that's not in there. I don't know what's innovative about Stray, if I'm being honest.
um,
Um,
just being a cat,
I
I
haven't
guess.
played it. Yeah, but I mean, Lo-Fi Cat is innovative gameplay. Like I don't.
I've heard that
Have
a
you
lot
I
of
don't know.
people were
I have a question.
impressed.
Have you ever seen another game where you play as a lo-fi cat?
I've seen other games
Pretty innovative.
where I've seen other games where people play as cats. Maybe not with lo-fi music, but they play as cats.
Skyrim doesn't count.
I mean, that's not what I was going with,
As
but
has no words for you.
yeah, I don't. I'm not. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong or whatever. There could be some crazy wacko stuff in there that I'm aware of, but as far as I know,
I'd be surprised if it doesn't go to Neon White.
Yeah, I think Neon
yeah,
White is a big contender on this one. Mixing that sort of like speed running with the like
yeah,
card draw thing. Pretty cool.
yeah. They also had a pretty cool like premise, right? Because
Mhm.
aren't you like assassins in heaven or some
Yes.
shit?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
I was
cool.
watching something on it yesterday, and I was like, man, this is a weird ass fucking game. Tell you what, like,
Right.
Dome Keeper is to my knowledge, I haven't played it, but it's like roguelike, base building, survival, tower defense. It's like if you take some of the aspects of like Kingdoms or Kingdom, where you like build your city and then at night you get sieged by like demons and stuff. Like there's like
Yeah.
monsters that attack your dome, but then you dig down for resources like you would in like
Dwarf
Terraria.
Fortress.
Or
yeah, that game.
yeah, and
Yeah,
then
okay.
if you get wiped, you start over.
Cool.
Yeah,
So like it's pretty cool, but it's taking aspects of different things and putting them together in what kind of is an innovative way. But
Mhm.
like I've never seen anything that plays like Neon White. Not even close.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, deck builders, sure, but not deck builders that are also like
First-person shooters and
first person. It's like uh, Ghost Runner and fucking Slay the Spire had a weird baby that's also an assassin.
yeah, I
Very
think
confused.
that is definitely the standout in that category that feels the most unique.
Because they
Um,
left out some people. Anyways,
yes.
sorry.
Best game you suck at. Obviously Elden Ring is here.
Elden Ring.
Elden
Yeah,
Ring is here. I don't know, man. I feel like this was really the most accessible Souls game yet. I don't know if it's gonna win this one because I would put it to GTFO. God, that game. I sucked at GTFO. Let me tell you, boys. You were there. You saw
We
the
haven't
hell
played
that
that
we
in a
went
long
through.
time.
No, I think, but I don't think we also put enough time into GTFO to get good at it, right?
We did not.
Because like I think a lot of that has to do with like learning the maps and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. What else is in the category?
We've got FIFA 23, Victoria 3, and Total War Warhammer 3.
It's going to Elden Ring.
Yeah, probably.
I think it
So,
will. Yeah.
Just based on the description, right? This is the game that rewards persistence, is not for the faint of heart. It's the toughest game we've ever loved. That's Elden Ring in this category. Like FIFA, who gives a fuck about? Like, I know there are lots of people who like FIFA, but like, it's fucking FIFA.
Persistence.
That's not. Yeah, persistence in like buying Ultimate Team packs, sure. Fucking Total War Warhammer 3. Yeah, okay, I'll give you Warhammer Total War games. Persistence in that your campaigns are going to fail until you learn how to play the game over and over. Okay, that's fair. That deserves to be there. It's not as good as Elden Ring though. Victoria 3 it's literally Crusader Kings 3, but in a different time period. Same devs. Same deal as Total War. You're gonna fail a lot, but once you figure out the systems, you'll be fine.
Yeah, this is another one I'll be surprised if Elden Ring doesn't go home with it.
Yeah.
It's just that's what Souls games are known for, right? That's kind of their thing.
That's their shtick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going to be talking about Armored Core in this category next year?
I don't know.
Probably. Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's gonna be so fucking deep. I hope it's as deep as I'm scared it will be. Put it that way.
Man.
Clip that.
Wow.
Things you don't expect him to say.
Yeah. The first phrasing I was just gonna let go, and then you doubled down, and so I was like, oh, somebody.
Okay, I hope the systems in Armored Core are as ridiculously in depth as I'm afraid they will be.
That's a very safe way to say it.
I know I mathed it the other day, but like there was just the PlayStation 1 version of Armored Core had a ridiculous number of like combination of parts and weapons you could have.
Yeah.
And it was a PlayStation 1 version of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, FromSoft.
Like I keep saying, the only thing I'm worried about that game is how are they going to innovate on just making it a menu simulator for 80% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because very deep, very lot of shit to it. How do you make it like intuitive and not 30 menus deep to change one item on your Mac kind of thing? But anyway,
Armored Core games were usually not that bad about it, but we'll see.
Has the Armored Core news made you want to like go back and play any of the old ones?
I have Armored Core. I have a few of them installed on the deck and set up to play through again. The only thing though, I forgot this. Okay, I forgot because PlayStation, OG PlayStation, you didn't have joysticks.
Nope.
So looking up and down are the bumpers and the triggers.
Yeah.
Are like,
I remember games like that. Yeah.
So like I think left bumper and right bumper is strafing, and you just turn with the joystick, or not the joystick, the D-pad. And then looking up and down is your triggers. So I'm sitting there trying to shoot mechs, and I'm like, oh no, I need to press X for that.
Oh my god.
I need to press A. I'm like, oh, this is that's going to take some readjustment. And the
so
PlayStation 2
weird.
version is like that as well, even though that had joysticks. So
That is so
Yeah.
strange.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we'll
yeah, I
see.
am prepared to do that.
Next category we got is best soundtrack. This is another one with some big contenders. So we've got Metal Hellsinger, so obviously all about the music. Sonic Frontiers. Sonic games always have banging soundtracks. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. A lot of good fucking music in that. Persona 5 Royal. Holy shit. Another game with great fucking music. And some Hatsune Miku game that Megamix, is that what it says there? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
It's all about music as well.
I think this
Apparently.
category could go anyway. I don't think this is predictable.
I don't think so either, but I do think because memes, Sonic, maybe.
Sonic has a lot. Sonic didn't go home with anything at the Game Awards, so I think there's a lot of energy to get something for Sonic this year.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. If I'm Metal Hellsinger and I don't win best soundtrack after being overwhelmingly positive on Steam, like it's a game literally built around music. You know what I mean? Like
I get that,
I don't.
but I mean, that's not just the music, right? That's like obviously a huge part of it. But you could say, I mean, a lot of these games, the music is a huge part of the identity of the game, even if it's not mechanically part of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
this could have been Metal Hellsinger. That could have been innovative, in the innovative category, perhaps.
Well, the problem is this is bad. It's not innovative because you normally see games that do stuff like that, but they're just anime shooting girls, like shooters and stuff like that. And that's why
there's beats per minute too is another one that did very similar soundtrack, very similar idea.
But I just like but I'm not like trying to like dunk on the other games and their soundtracks, but I just like from Metal Hellsinger, you didn't win at E3, you lost to God of War, and then you lose it on Steam to, I mean, even if it is Sonic, it's still Sonic. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know what you mean. How dare you?
I mean, I know a lot of people like Sonic, and I haven't played it, to be fair. But once again, the Sonic soundtrack is not what like mechanically what the whole game is built around. It's just added in.
Well, yeah, this is just the best soundtrack. It's not about the game. It's just the music.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah. But I do agree that all these games look like they're probably have good music because Final Fantasy always puts out bangers too.
Yeah, I'd be hard pressed to choose between. I think my top two would be Sonic and Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I am actually. There are two games that I think are very deserving of being on here that aren't on here. Now, one of them shouldn't be on many of these because it's technically released in 2018, but God of War, the God of War soundtrack is fucking amazing. I will not be convinced otherwise. Obviously, you can make an argument that Elden Ring soundtrack is beautiful, but that's not the one that I was going to bring up. The other one I was going to bring, Vampire Survivors. I'll Die on This Hill. It's an amazing soundtrack. It is very worthy. I don't care. I like 8-bit music.
Respect. Tim, the chiptune head.
I better like chiptune because our theme song is chiptune. So.
All right, I think that's probably the most competitive category yet. Moving on to the next one, outstanding story-rich game. We have Plague Tale Requiem, God of War, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection, The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, and Spider-Man Remastered. A lot of old games.
A lot of Sony games.
A lot of re-release.
Yeah, the only one that's on here that's not a re-release is Plague Tale.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Because Stanley Parable came out forever ago.
Yeah.
I think Stanley Parable or whatever. They had like an expansion or some shit. I remember Markiplier playing through it at the beginning of the year or some shit.
Yeah, but still, it's an expansion for a game that came out a while ago. The only game that's on here that's not an expansion or a re-release is Requiem.
Weird
Interesting.
category. Very strange.
There's a 60% chance that Sony's going to win that category.
Yeah.
It's probably
Sony.
weird like that. There's probably plenty of other good stories that came with this year, but all those games I think might have won when they originally came out.
I wonder.
It's a weird. It's a weird piece. Pretty sure God of War 2018 did.
I would say no. Well, God of War 2018 couldn't have won a Steam award before.
I'm not talking about Steam.
Yeah, you're talking about yeah.
Right.
Or Game
But like
Awards or whatever.
I think by the logic that I don't necessarily think that re-releases should win story-rich game. I think that one of them probably will. I think that honestly, God of War or Spider-Man is gonna win it, but I almost feel like Plague Tale should win it.
Yeah.
It's a new story that just came out and isn't a re-release from another platform.
Yeah, that's one thing that's always weird about the Steam Awards is like there are games that haven't been on Steam until suddenly, and then it's like kind of weird having them in the categories.
Yeah,
but it is what it is.
They're all great games.
Next category: sit back and relax. Cody's gonna like this. Power Wash Simulator.
Yeah, my wife beat that.
She beat it?
Yeah, she played all the levels and shit.
Oh, okay.
Why am I not surprised? She finishes way more games than you do.
Oh, 100%, dude. She gets on a game and it's one-minded obsession until it's finished. So
we got Power Wash Simulator, Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Dreamlight Valley, that Disney Animal Crossing style game, Dwarf Romantic, which is like a hex based. I don't know exactly what this is. This looks cool. And Slime Rancher 2.
How isn't Stray on here?
I don't think Stray is a relaxing game after the first hour.
I don't know. I don't know anything about Stray. Everything I've seen about it, you were just walking around as a cat with some robots hanging out. You know
it gets like dark and stuff. I've seen a lot of people say the first part where you're just a cat, just being a cat is fucking amazing, but then it gets into this weird thing of like, why are there only robots? What's going on in the world? And kind of loses some steam.
About solving the mystery of where the fuck did all the people go.
Oh. They probably killed themselves. Nuclear war or something.
Some awful thing.
I mean, there's robots everywhere, so you didn't immediately go, oh, they got terminated?
No.
Immediately where my brain went.
Are there any games that you guys play that you like to just like chill and play these games that aren't on this?
Vampire Survivors.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Vampire Survivors is very much a turn your brain off and just like move a stick around game. Like, yeah, it's intense and there's a lot of things happening on the screen, but it is just very much just sit back, chill out, not really think. I haven't played a single game on this list.
Yeah, I've played the first Slime Rancher. That's about as close as I get on this one. I've played other Lego Star Wars games. But that's on Game Pass now, right? Skywalker Saga?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Logan's been playing it. Logan has been playing Squadrons.
Oh, nice.
I am so proud. I didn't have to. So when I was his age,
complicated.
My first joystick game that I ever played, or flight stick, was X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. And without being prompted, he saw Squadrons on there. I was like, hey, Dad, what's this game about? And I was like, well, it's about flying the TIE fighters and the X-Wings, and it's, there's some story and stuff. He goes, can I play it? Yeah, man, absolutely. He's just been, he doesn't want help with it. He's just flying around. And the thing that makes me the most proud is he was like, yeah, I just want to fly the TIE fighters. I just want to blow up the rebels. That's
Oh my
it.
god.
My heart. My
Oh
heart.
my god!
That's
He
amazing.
takes
So
after me.
your son's becoming Darth Vader.
He is me in so many ways, and I love it.
Oh my
That's
god!
beautiful. Love that.
Yeah.
All right, our last category is best game on the go. We have Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, Vampire Survivors, Brotato, Marvel
Mhm.
Snap, and Cody's favorite game, Death Stranding. Why is Death
Shouldn't have
Stranding
been a
on
movie.
here?
I don't know.
I don't
Probably
know.
because it was one of the first games that get verified on the Steam Deck, and it supposedly runs great on the Steam Deck. I don't think I own Death Stranding.
That seems like such a strange choice for this
It,
category. Like, I
it
couldn't see
does.
myself like on the bus playing Death Stranding for like 5 minutes and like being cool with that.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I think that one's more of like Steam just going like, holy shit, we got this thing to run on the Steam Deck with like no problems whatsoever. Yeah, that makes it a great game on the go. But like also, no,
You couldn't
I
you couldn't play Death Stranding on the go because or on a bus or anything like that because the fucking cutscenes by themselves are like 25 minutes.
you could
Like
watch a cutscene for the whole a cutscene for the whole bus ride.
you could watch it for an entire plane ride.
Oh,
Like this is it's some of those cutscenes, and maybe it's just in the beginning. I don't know. Justin would know better than me, but like I feel like the first like 4 hours of the game, it's 3 hours of cutscenes,
it's very
like setting stuff
cinematic.
up.
It's not as bad as like
Yeah,
Metal Gear Solid 4, but yeah, it's very cinematic.
How Cody,
yeah.
your camera died.
No, I'll bring it back.
I feel
Baby,
like
come back.
Vampire Survivors is a big contender in this
You should
category.
win that. You should win that.
That just seems
I
like
mean, it's
the
it's
funnest
fucking
one.
it's mobile now. It's on mobile now.
Mm-hmm.
My boss beat it. I showed it to him on a Friday. By the next fucking Thursday, he had beat the damn thing. Like literally everything.
That's
Like,
amazing.
and they just released. It's not on mobile. This isn't on the mobile portion, but they just released DLC for like a fucking $1. Like,
Love to see it.
yeah,
Yeah, so voting starts tomorrow, I believe, for the Steam Awards. So be sure to get on there, do your votes, get your little Steam XP or whatever the hell you get.
Buy
It'll be
lots
fun
of
to
games
see.
because winter sale.
Winter sale kicking off tomorrow. Check your wish list. Get some shit on your wish list for people who want to buy you gifts.
yeah.
Think about it.
Mhm.
All right. We're coming up on our time here, so we can just kind of blaze through a few more things. Did you see this article about Sony's new like what is it like a $200 controller that they're doing for the PS5?
Oh, the $200 controller with worse battery life than PS5 controllers already have.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm
I
gonna fucking buy that, you dicks. God damn it.
I like how their one will get to their response as to how to fix it. But
Uh,
two, their whole thing was like, oh yeah, we're putting in extra features, so of course it's gonna have worse battery life. I'm like, the Elite doesn't have worse. I don't remember the last time I had to charge my Elite. I charge my Elite like monthly, not
yeah,
weekly, not daily. I charge my Xbox Elite Series 2 like
yeah.
once a month. You're trying to tell me that like the DualSense features that you're I don't understand. Like I get that there's extra tech in there, there's extra motors, there's all this extra stuff that it's going to have terrible battery. Okay. How did you not put a bigger battery in it? And how in the hell is having removable thumbsticks and these the back paddles making the battery life worse? It can't. It shouldn't.
That
What are
seems
you doing?
crazy. What technology is it? Is having 4 additional little button triggers on the back draining your battery more? That seems weird.
No idea.
I'm curious. I'm curious if those buttons are getting the same treatment as like when you pull down the R2 button or whatever and you get the
Oh,
resistance. Are
that could
those
be.
buttons going to get the same
That would be
resistance?
Okay, I'm gonna put it this way. That would be stupid. The reason people
That's
buy pro controllers, the reason people buy the Elite Series 2 or like your Scuffs and your Razor Wolverines is not for those features. They buy them for the competitive advantages that the extra back pedal. Most of the people who are buying the $250 controllers are not us, Cody. Like, yeah, we bought them because I bought one because you're like, dude, this controller is amazing. I was like, I don't want to spend $200 on a controller, and then I did, and I was like, okay, this is a really nice controller. Now I use it on
Yeah.
everything. However,
Yeah.
most of the
dope
people buying those controllers are not us. They're the ones that are like sweaty about COD, that are like, oh yeah, I need all the advantages in Warzone. Like,
There's
I don't get it.
yeah, there's truth to that. I would say, like, I'm not obviously sweaty about any FPS these days because I'm awful at them. But I think it's honestly, I this is a personal thing. I would like to see the evolution to just the back paddles and getting away from the face buttons on the controller, because that's normally what I'm replacing. I'm either replacing those face buttons like A, B, X, and Y, or the D-pad, depending on what the game is, right? And I'm putting it on those 4 back paddles, because it's more natural, and you don't have to remove your thumb from the thumbstick that you're normally using to look to then do something, right? Like, that's the biggest advantage, in my opinion, and why it makes the most sense. But Tim is right. Like, the most people that are dropping $200 on a fucking controller is because they're no lifing some FPS or some shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just kind of, yeah. I don't. I can't believe that they would do something like that.
Well, the good
Sony
news
is more and more out of touch with their customer base.
Luckily, Sony has a solution. Plug your controller in.
Oh my god, bro!
Plug in your wireless. So why didn't you just sell me a wired controller? Just do what the Razer Wolverine did. Cut out the cost of the transceiver and just make it wired. Make it wired only if that's what you're gonna fucking do. If you're like, yeah, just plug it in, then just make me plug it in. You fucks. I don't understand.
You fucks.
I don't get it. I love Sony products. My PlayStation 5 is I probably play my PlayStation 5 more than my Xbox right now, because I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima and God of War and Spider-Man, and I love Sony products. I still got my PlayStation 2. Like, I do genuinely like the stuff they make. But they're starting to become douchey, kind of like Apple. I don't fucking like it. Like, the whole thing with DualSense controllers, standard controllers, right? They actually, it's not even just DualSense, because they did it with DualShock too. DualShock controllers were always more expensive than Xbox One controllers. DualSense controllers are always more expensive than Xbox controllers. The DualSense Edge is $30 more expensive than a Elite Series 2 controller. And it's not like Xbox dropped the price to be on. No, Sony sets their prices higher because they're trying to put out we're the premium product vibe. They're very much doing. Apple does that shit too. Apple charges you $45 for a fucking wall charger that should have cost you $20. Like, Sony's doing that now because they're in a market position where they can, because yeah, they have market dominance. Okay, understood. But it's douchey, and then they don't help themselves in my eyes when they go out and say stuff like, the quote that I keep bringing up over and over and over again with Jim Ryan: "Can't break that virtuous cycle." It's like it's a cultural problem there right now for PlayStation that bothers me, and I'm sure I'm in the minority. Most people probably don't give a fuck about stuff like that, but when you're doing that, meanwhile, Xbox and Uncle Phil over there just being bros all of the time, it kind of bothers me. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a bad look.
No.
Fucking rant over.
I mean, they just want to increase prices just like they already did on their console.
Yeah.
And standardizing $70 for video games, and I don't know, name a thing. They're probably doing it first.
Sony doing it.
Yeah.
They're doing it. Bastard.
Plug it in. I hate that they actually just told you plug it in too. It's their what do you guys not have phones moment.
Yes. Why don't you just?
You guys not have a USB charger? Yeah.
Oh man. Well, yeah, that felt like kind of a blunder. But something that hopefully will not be a blunder. Henry Cavill creating the Warhammer 40K cinematic universe.
Bro. He is also apparently going to be collabing. I really don't want to mess up this dude's name, so I'm trying to find him on Twitter. I think it's like Rahul. something?
Yes, dude.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking?
Yes, I
Yeah.
saw this
Okay.
happen on Twitter. So before it was announced that Henry Cavill was going to be doing this Warhammer thing, Rahul, who does like I've seen Midnight Mass. If anyone's seen that, he's like the cop in that. He's really good. He's an actor. He tweeted about how he thinks that Henry Cavill and him should collab and do like a Warhammer TV show. And then, like, later in the same day, it came out that Henry Cavill is doing this whole Warhammer 40K thing. So I don't know if maybe Rahul already knew about that and that was like a stunt, but it just like kind of blew Twitter up for a little while.
Here's where it gets complicated for me with the whole Warhammer thing with Henry Cavill. I like it, but he left The Witcher, he was the perfect Geralt. He left The Witcher because he was going to reprise his role as Superman, and also creative differences with the producers at The Witcher. Okay, I can respect that. But then he has creative differences with James Gunn, and he's not going to be Superman, so he gets to do the Warhammer thing, and that's cool. But I almost wonder if he's going to develop the reputation of somebody who's difficult to work with.
I mean, yeah, it seems that way. But that's why he's going to be the executive producer. He's not going to have anyone to argue with then.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Also the Rahul thing, I guess I don't know if you guys saw. He also put out on Twitter like because there was questions after the Henry Cavill news came out. They were like, "Oh, is Rahul going to be working on this too?" Blah blah blah. And Rahul put out a thing, something like, "Yes, Henry contacted my agents so I can go out and buy him coffee and donuts for this deal." He said they're still negotiating the contract or some shit like that. I was like, "That's funny."
Yeah, I follow him on Twitter. Yeah. He's really funny, man. So I'm posting pictures of like some Warhammer minis he's been painting. I'll link you to.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see it on the Ola Twitter. That's the only reason why I really know about it.
Yeah.
And I appreciate
the Twitter account I'm signed into right now.
It's very good. Very funny.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited that he phrased it like a cinematic universe because that's what they should do. They shouldn't do Warhammer the movie. They should do, here's a Imperial Guard that's like movie based on like, some gritty World War II flick. Here's some like, I don't know, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, but you're a rogue trader. There's all kinds of crazy shit they could do.
I'm really curious what they're gonna make first, because the only thing I don't want them to make first is only one thing. There's only one fucking thing.
You're gonna say Space Marine.
Ultramarine, specifically.
Fuck the Smurfs. We don't need any Ultra Smurfs.
I would like give me an Imperial Fist movie. Fucking, or give me a Space Wolves origin story. Give me a Horus Heresy thing. Don't make it Ultramarine centric. The last Warhammer 40K movie to come out was Ultramarine centric. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was an animated one or whatever. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great though either. Yeah, it was okay.
Here's the one thing that makes me go, unless, right? So I do not want anything Ultra Smurfs, if avoidable. Unless they want to give me a Titus movie with Clive Standen reprising the role in person, like live action, because Clive Standen is a fucking badass, and that would be cool.
That would be really cool.
But that's the exception. Anything else, Ultramarines, I'm not interested. Give me a Silver Skulls story, since nobody knows shit about the Silver Skulls, and you can kind of, because it's a chapter that is kind of fringe and out there and exists, but doesn't. You can do so much with it. The cool thing about Warhammer is you can do so many fucking possibilities. Like the Tyranids, the original design for the Gene Stealers is 100% based on xenomorphs from Alien. You could literally do an Alien movie, but xenomorph, or but Gene Stealers. You could do, like Cody was saying, you could do like a World War II style like Death Corps of Krieg movie, which would be fucking phenomenal. You could do the Fall of Cadia. You could do a straight up horror flick with demons in like a
Yeah.
hive city and like an inquisitor.
Yeah.
There's so many possibilities with 40K because it's a goddamn universe.
Here's
Oh,
my
also,
question.
speaking of Smurfs, no Tau.
Shut up. Fuck you. Here's my question, right? So, if Henry Cavill is going to play somebody in any of these, is he going to be the God Emperor? What's
No.
his role going to be? Who would he play?
Gaunt. I've been saying this from day one. Gaunt from Gaunt's Ghost, man. That's
I
just the number one thing that comes to mind.
I think he would be a great Caiaphas Cain.
Oh yeah, isn't that the dude who like always like is trying to run away and somehow does something badass?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
whole premise is like he's
Yeah.
he's like the hero of the Imperium. He's like a commissar.
Yeah.
But he's always just like trying to
Mhm.
save his ass, and it just turns into him like doing heroic shit. It would just be
Yeah.
great that like they could do it like a dry British comedy, and I think that would be perfect.
Right. You know who else I could see him playing as? Now I think about it, Horus. If they did the Horus Heresy origin story or whatever, I could see him playing a Horus. So
Kind of watch his slow descent into madness.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
That or just because the white hair, he could be robot girly man
Yeah.
because that would make him, you know, the
bro, I took my
not
brain a
emperor
second.
emperor.
Yeah. I don't know. Like you said, that's the universe. There's a lot of options.
Mm-hmm.
I hope the first option. The problem with there being a buffet of options is a lot of time those options kind of fall flat, as we see in the video game medium. So I'm hoping he chooses a good one, or whatever story they decide to go with.
Yeah, it'll be
So
important. The first one that they do is gonna kind of make or break their whole deal, I'm sure. So I hope it is good. I think that's all the news we really want to touch on, unless there's anything else y'all wanted to talk on.
Nope.
So yeah, that's all we've got for tonight. Make sure you vote for the Steam Awards. So tell us what are you voting for? What are you picking? We've got a winter storm up here. If you're in the danger zone, stay safe, stay warm. Don't do anything dangerous like going outside and breathing the air.
there's so much truth to that. You go outside for 5 minutes, you might get frostbite right about now. Holy fuck!
For real.
Yeah.
Deadly out there. Yeah. So we'll be back again next week. I don't think there's anything too exciting going on between now and then. Hopefully we'll be able to get
Christmas.
some time. Well, no, that's after. We're coming back on. Well, no, it's not. Oh my god.
No, it's not.
That's right.
No, it's not.
Promise
Fix my
Christmas is
calendar
before
here.
our next show.
Yeah.
Happy holidays, y'all.
Enjoy.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Whatever you're doing. Yeah.
And hopefully you get some good gaming in this winter storm, because
Play more
apparently
games.
it's not just you, it's everywhere.
Get your gaming
So,
in. Don't get disconnected and have a bunch of power outages like Shane when we were trying to game earlier. Watch your raid
Awful.
schedules.
Yeah.
All right.
All the good stuff.
Until next time, we've been Olip, and you need to play more games. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.